Hi, I'm Octavio. I'm the mixologist here at the Biltmore Bar. One of our creations here is the Pear Martini, and it's all made with fresh ingredients, and we make all our ingredients here at the Biltmore Bar. So we start off to make this drink. We start off with fresh ice. We're going to use the Grey Goose pear, and we do about 3 parts. We do 3 parts of Grey Goose. We also add a little Grand Marnier to it, a little orange base to it. We do 1 part of that. And then we're going to add our fresh puree that we create here at the Biltmore Bar. Pear puree, 1 part agave. Then we shake that. We pour over a nice frosted martini glass. We garnish with a fresh pear. Float it on top. Voila.
Good afternoon, my name is Olivier Rodriguez and I'm the pastry chef at the Biltmore Hotel in Coral Gables, Miami. Today I'm going to prepare in front of you a coconut lemongrass ginger soup with some tropical fruit that you will find in front of you, such as lychee, kiwi, pineapple, papaya, mango. And voila, so we're going to start, all right? So like I just said, we have all our fruit in front of us. I'm going to start with 1 cup of coconut milk that I put in the sauté pan right here. I'm going to bring it to a boil. With this, I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of sugar to bring the flavor of the coconut. As well, I'm going to put a half vanilla bean. So the way we prepare vanilla bean, it's very easy. First, we need to flat it up on the surface of the cutting board. Then you need to cut it in half. Make sure you don't cut yourself. Take your time. And then it's very easy. You put the vanilla bean against the board, and with your knife, you kind of scrape like this. And you have all the beans on the knife. And we never get rid of the vanilla bean because it's still full of flavor. You can still put it like in a container with some sugar and use the sugar for like pastry, cake making, and to burn your crème brûlée. Okay? So I'm putting the vanilla bean into the coconut milk. Then next thing, it's a stick of lemongrass. I'm going to put a full stick. All right, I'm going to trim both edges. I'm going to slice it in thin slice. And we're going to pull it, once the coconut milk boiled, we're going to pull it inside and leave it infuse for like 15 minutes to get all the flavor from the vanilla and from the lemongrass. So the coconut milk just boiled with the vanilla and the sugar. So it's time for us to add the lemongrass. Stir it well. And then we're going to leave it for 15 minutes to make sure all the flavor are there. Right. In the meantime, we're going to prepare the fruit, which I already did in advance. I'm just going to show you like how I did the pineapple. All right. So first with the pineapple, of course, we need to peel it. I'm just going to trim both edges. And then I'm just going to try to get rid of the skin. Okay? Just the skin of the pineapple. So now I'm going to show you for the pineapple. Just slice very thin slices. Take your time. Make sure you don't cut yourself. Et voilà. You have a little dice of pineapple. And you do the same thing with the mango, with the kiwi, and the papaya. All right, so now that our mix been 15 minutes, we're gonna strain it, very important. And try to don't leave it more than 15 minutes because after this, the lemongrass will give like a bitter flavor to the coconut soup, which is not very good. So that's why we're gonna avoid. And then after this step, the soup, we need to put it in the cooler for at least a couple of hours to make sure it's nice and cold because that's why we want something refreshing. So make sure you save it cold. So now it's time to prep the dessert. So I choose this dish. It's a little, very nice, like a glass bowl. And I'm gonna start by putting the fruit inside the bowl. I'm gonna put a little bit of papaya, a little bit of the pineapple, then a little bit of kiwi, mango, then a couple of lychees. If you like lychees, you can put more. And then a few little scoops of watermelon for color. It's very colorful dish. It's very important, once again, to eat it very cold. Okay, that's what we want. All right. So my soup is nice and cold now. So I'm gonna take a ladle and I'm gonna just put enough mix to cover the fruit, not too much. A little bit more. And voila. And then, of course, it's not finished. To make this dish a little bit better, we're gonna put a little scoop of passion and mango sorbet. So I just grab a spoon, silver spoon, that I dipped in very hot water. And I'm gonna start to form a kernel of mango passion sorbet. Warm it up a little bit in your hand. And for the last of it, we keep the vanilla bean because it's, like I said, you can put it in your sugar to flavor the sugar, but as well we can dry it and use it as a garnish. It's very nice. Et voilà, we have the coconut lemongrass soup with mango passion sorbet and tropical fruit. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lourdes Castro. I'm the director of the Biltmore Culinary Academy, and I'm here to talk to you about my favorite ingredient, garlic. Some of you may think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I just know how to work with it. Knowing how to work with garlic will make the difference between a great dish and a terrible dish. Let me explain to you how. What I like to do is create what's called a garlic paste. Simply mash up your garlic, and I'm gonna chop it up into a fine paste with the help of some salt. What this will do is not only extract the moisture from the garlic, but I'm gonna eventually put it in my pan with a little bit of oil and allow it to infuse into the oil. This will allow for two things. First, it'll perfume the oil and it won't burn and make the garlic bitter. So step one, chop up your garlic with a little bit of salt. Then you're gonna have to be a little bit patient with it and let it just sit for a while. You can be generous with your salt and just let it sit. The natural, or the moisture that's naturally found in the garlic is gonna be pulled out by the salt, which will allow you to create the paste. So let it sit for a few minutes, chop it up, and in no time, you're gonna have a paste. Now you're gonna need to help it along by scraping it. It's a big chunk of garlic. All right. And there's something that happens when you make a garlic paste where I think by extracting the moisture, it mellows out the flavor. And what's wonderful about this is that you're going to be able to use garlic in many of your recipes without it really overwhelming your recipe and without offending or allowing it to offend the person who's standing next to you. So you can see how the moisture is starting to come out from the garlic. You can help it along by chopping it up a bit. And as I mentioned, eventually you'll end up with a smooth paste. I know you're also thinking, which is you can buy this already made in the market. But what ends up happening is you'll be able to taste the fact that it's been jarred or bottled, and that's really not gonna help in terms of creating a nice fresh recipe for yourself. I think it actually creates a really off-putting flavor. So, can you see what I did there? You see how it's a paste? In practically no time, you've extracted all of the moisture out of your garlic and you've created a garlic paste. Step 1. Step 2, put some oil in your pot. And notice my pot isn't on, the stove isn't on, so the pot's not hot, and I'm doing that on purpose. I have a cool pot, oil in it, and I'm gonna add my garlic to it. So there is no sizzle, I don't want any. The next step is going to be to turn on the pot so that eventually the garlic will slowly, or the flavor of the garlic will slowly infuse into the oil. So once you've added the garlic to the oil, turn on the heat, and the garlic will then tell you when it's time for you to proceed. As soon as you start hearing the sizzle, that means that the garlic is starting to, or the flavor of the garlic is starting to infuse into the oil, and then you're able to basically begin your recipe. You can add onions or peppers or chilies or chicken or whatever it is that you want to continue your recipe with. So this, not only does the garlic paste start you off by mellowing the flavor of the garlic, it'll prevent you, or starting the garlic at this point with the room temperature oil prevents you from having burnt garlic, which we all know turns into a really bitter, garlicky flavor. So I like to make a garlic paste and start off all of my recipes infusing my garlic into the oil because it allows me to incorporate my favorite ingredient, add a really aromatic quality to the recipe without it overwhelming or becoming way too pungent for myself or my dinner guests. So don't be afraid of garlic, and next time you plan on making a recipe, make a paste and infuse it into your oil, and you'll see just how delicious it will be.